I don't really know if I was gonna actually do this video because I really at this point in time, even just speaking right now, I don't even have an aim for where this video is going to go in terms of what's going to be talked about or anything like that. But there is direction and bullet points. I know where to go, so we're just gonna have to wing this. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I feel like it's rough being someone that is like wanting to play games of different things and such like that. I oftentimes see when we have like, you know, state of plays and showcases or things of sort like that, there's oftentimes people that come into those chats that just be like, oh, this is a skip, this is a next situation, mad bored of this game or something like that. And then I think even like Moist Critical made a video talking about, yo, why are y'all like this? It's not, are you crazy? Like, there's tons of games to be playing. And he's right, there absolutely is tons of games to be playing. But at the same time, I kind of get why they're saying that, or at least my idea of why is mainly because at least when it comes down to something that I would like to see, it's not there. Like, am I tripping when it comes down to it? Because, like, yes, there's obviously really good games that's out there that anybody that has more of a brain to play something that's not a 2K or your average sport game or whatever, you would know. Yes, there's games to absolutely be had to play. There's tons of them. But that being said, it's not the game I'm looking for. At least when it comes down to what I'm really hyped up about. Because for me personally, there is very few games that I play when it comes down to, oh, I'm super hyped up for the next thing, right? Because it has to, for a lot of games, win me over in terms of what I'm looking for. Even when it comes down to something like a Persona 6, because people have been mad going crazy over like the idea of Persona 6 showing up at some point. I want to see Persona 6 too, but at the same time, I want to see if their cast would actually win me over, because I felt that way with P5. When I saw P5 for the first time and actually saw people just getting hyped up over it and all that type of stuff, and I was a P4 person, and again, I didn't have no knowledge about how Persona works and changing protagonists and all that type of stuff. I was like, huh, look at these bum-ass characters. Ain't no way they better than my boy Yu Narukami. Ain't nobody standing against him. And then, ultimately, after I had the chance to play it, I was like, holy shit, this is just like up there with like a #1, you know, top game of all time type of situation after I played the original P5, right? And then even more so with P5R Royal, you know? That's kind of how it was. But it took me a minute to kind of get warmed up to the idea of, oh yeah, Joker's a good ass protagonist, and I actually don't mind the crew. And that's kind of like the whole ass thing. Yeah, like, yeah, you got games that's obviously going to kick ass, but there's some games you gotta win me over first. Like, for example, when it comes to games that I actually do want to go play or would like to go just jump into, yes, there's something like a Stellar Blade that I haven't yet to play yet because I just haven't had the money to do so. Or something of sort of like when Lost Soul Aside come out later this year in May. You know, that'd be something I'm very much looking forward to if I have, again, the money at that point. And then the same thing can be said for Final Fantasy VII Part 3. I'm very much ultimately looking forward to that, but one of the games I'm super majorly looking forward to is Kingdom Hearts. Mainly Kingdom Hearts 4. Like, yes, I know Missing Link is there. We ain't talking about Missing Link. We talking about KH4. It's been almost 3 years since we last seen this game get announced. What the hell has been happening? It's been a wild ass time, I'll tell you that much. And it's been a basically a dry ass time too. It's been boring as hell without Kingdom Hearts coming through, right? And that's kind of the feeling I have towards gaming. I'm like, sure, you got all these cool ass games out there that I absolutely want to play, but for me personally, mainly, where's my Kingdom Hearts 4 at? Like, that's essentially how I feel. Hell, I was gonna do a video just talking about KH4, just in general, being like, bro, where is the game, bruh? I just want to see my boy Sora again. That's all I really care for, you know? All these other games that come out would be cool, that's fine, but where my boy Sora with the key that's gonna smack you in the booty? Like, where is that? And so, basically, that's kind of at least where my perspective is of why I think people could say, you know, there's something to play, because their specific game hasn't came out yet, or no one's talking about it. Because I know people feel probably the same way with Silk Song, or the same way with like the full complete version of Deltarune, or something of the sort like that. I can feel people feel that sort of way, or even Pragmata when that game hopefully still be in development and try to come out. You know, people are very much waiting on that. So there's plenty of games that people are waiting on, and of course people are gonna say, yeah, I'm mad bored because this ain't it. I mean, you don't have to be a dick about it in, you know, these type of chats and whatever, but still at the same time, definitely, yeah, there's definitely some games that people just want to see. But then at the very same time, that leads into the next point, which is why I'm like, you know what? Even though we're waiting hard as hell for Cage 4 and waiting to see what Square does, because I haven't gotten anything announced for what's coming up, literally, like, at all for this year and even next. That's why I'm so thrilled that I'm like playing something like Genshin, because I'm not gonna sit here and lie. If it wasn't for Genshin, playing it for the past like 5 years, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, I will be bored as hell. Like, just to be completely once again transparent, I don't buy like a lot of stuff, and when it comes down to games more specifically, I don't have the luxury to just go out and get the latest thing just because a lot of people, you know, play it or is hyped up about it or whatever. If I get it, that'd be great. But a lot of times I don't get that chance to just go out and go get something. Even with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, yeah, I got it day one, but that's because I had to save, and or a really good opportunity come in when somebody just, you know, hands me something just to go get it, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Big bet, let's go. And that's just kind of how it is. But outside of that, I don't really just go get the latest game just because I want to go get it, right? It kind of has to be like a waiting sort of situation. Unless there's just a game I absolutely have to go get at that point, then I'll try to figure out whatever way to go get it. Like, you know, especially if like something like story driven, like again, a Kingdom Hearts or a Final Fantasy situation. But when it comes down to it though, that's why I'm kind of glad that we do got something again like Genshin or whatever that exists out there, because you don't gotta spend shit just to play these type of games. You just enjoy the game, and if you want to spend something on it, then you can, but you're not really forced to do so. Because again, if I didn't have Genshin or anything like that, I'd probably have been bored for the last couple of years, honestly. So that just for me personally, how I, you know, kind of feel. Probably been playing Fortnite and don't want to go back into that rabbit hole. Just do not want to do that, especially playing that shit alone. That shit's ass. So that's also like a whole nother thing. And then when you really just even look just again at the whole market of how games is kind of being done right now, with the West not really giving you anything that you really want to play, Japan getting hit with the same type of ordeal, and the games that you really want to play is like way out there right now, so you can't get anything that you want, and the only people that's kind of cooking up stuff is like literally outside of those two places, right? At least for me, because it's like, yeah, don't get me wrong, there have been some good ass games that, you know, Japan hasn't made, right? Some games I can definitely see people getting hyped up about and just playing over the last couple of years, like a Final Fantasy 16 or a Rain Code, which no one plays for whatever dumbass reason, or somebody getting hyped up over for, you know, the 100-line Death Academy when that comes out later this year, or Fatal Fury, or whatever essentially you have. You know, you got stuff that is out there, right? But when it comes down to what's absolutely dominating though, it's for sure the Chinese market and their devs teams and all that stuff that comes over there. And, you know, obviously there's problems China has with, you know, the government and things of sort like that, that obviously, you know, I don't really agree with. But in terms of their entertainment, can't necessarily lie and just say, yeah, it's ass, because no, they've been cooking up a lot of good stuff, honestly. Not even just China, but even like South Korea as well, because they've been cooking up a lot of good stuff too, and trying to get things going as well, right? So it's just a lot of stuff that's coming from the eastern side that's just been kicking ass in those two directions mainly, at least as far as, you know, I'm aware of, you know. So when it comes down to it, it's kind of like, yeah, when you really look at the perspective of the entirety of the gaming industry and the entirety of just games as a whole, it's like, yeah, I can definitely understand the boredom side of it, and I can understand why you have people glazing up hard as hell the more so Chinese side of it and South Korean side of it whenever you get South Korean stuff, because it's like, yeah, they're the only ones that's not effed up right now. They're not the ones that's like, you know, I guess like front and center. So when they do come up with projects and stuff as well, they're kind of just like, oh shit, what is this? What do you mean you got a game that you can play as a monkey man, or a game that you can play as an alien fine, like cheeked up character that fights weird ass monsters? Like, what do you mean, right? And that's just kind of like the whole ass thing, though, you know. And it also is a bit of a damn shame with how much DEI and how much, you know, stuff Japan has. They can honestly, Japan can literally kick everyone's ass. They genuinely can, but they get so stun locked when it comes down to certain things that holds them back from just going in, whether it is the, you know, DEI stuff, whether it's treating their employers or really their employees like shit, things of sort like that. They could dead ass be on that same level as the rest of everybody else, but they just can't for whatever reason, and it's so annoying, especially when you know they got the best IPs, some of the best IPs just in general that is out there you can use for a whole ass game, and they don't cash in on it, and it's so annoying, right? Or they bring out a game that's not necessarily something that's your cup of tea. Like, for again an example, the 100 Line Death Academy. It's not necessarily something I would play, but I love the character designs. I like how the characters is, and honestly, I think, I'll just be honest, anything Danganronpa like is pretty much gonna be having me to be interested when it comes down to, you know, the character designs and the style of the game and stuff like that. But it's just that, oh, it's a tactic, it's like a tactic type game. I was just like, I don't care for this for the most part. I really don't. If you had an open world, it was raunchy, and, you know, or like it was a fighting game or something like that, and they had fun with it and whatever, you know, if you had that character designs and stuff added with it, bitch, I'm here for it. Like, that would be probably the best game you could possibly throw down with, but we already know there's gonna be obstacles in that path, and that's gonna be incredibly annoying to try to, you know, put out there, so it's not gonna really work. But I guess my whole point of this video is, one, games are definitely, understandably for some people in certain areas, to be like boring when it's not the game that you really want to see, right? Because, like, obviously there's, again, tons of games that's still in development. We don't know what's going on, especially again with Kingdom Hearts, with no one saying a thing, and it drives you crazy how much they talk about FF7 Part 3 and what's being done when we don't got no news on KH, and it drives me up a wall sometimes. But when it comes down to it, that's like a major thing that's kind of like a major thing. It's like, you know, where the game that I want to see come through at, nowhere to be found. But then when you get something else, it's like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not what I'm really looking for. And that's why it is important just to look around for different games, you know, which brings up obviously the second point, you know, look at the Chinese games, look at the, you know, other Eastern games that's out there that you can obviously sit here and play. They might not be exactly what you want, but they do kill time, and they do absolutely just give you some type of thing to do instead of just being bored waiting on the thing that you really want to play, you know. And the thing is, once you get done playing that game that you really want to come out and just, you know, enjoy that, by the time you're done with that and you fully feel good about playing the game, you're probably going to jump right back into that thing anyway. That whole, you know, game that maybe could be a gacha or whatever. At least for me, that's what essentially I would do, at least when it comes down to it, because yeah, I'm ready for the next thing, I suppose. But yeah, I guess that's really what I want to say for this one. I don't know if I made any sense. I don't know if I actually, you know, I guess like made a whole bunch of sentences rambling or whatever. I don't know. But I just kind of want to say that, and especially when it comes to Japan too, because again, they have so many good shit over there, and they just don't be able to cash in. And then if you've seen, I think, a video from Nobita, a channel called Nobita, I think, or Japanese reporter or something like that, where he was talking about DEI and how Japan is getting affected by it. It's like, dude, they are getting hurt by it. They're getting hurt by it in the worst possible way, and it sucks right now. So, and it's kind of like, man, is Japan even going to be able to recover? I honestly don't know. I hope they do, but this shit right here just genuinely sucks. So yeah, that's very much that. But hopefully you still enjoyed nonetheless. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on the way out. Also follow on socials. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.